The musical has landed on Netflix. I want to have a quick chat about it, but first, let's see a clip. I haven't seen it myself, and Richard, I know at least one columnist has called for Harry to give up his deal with the streaming company after all this. I mean, what do you make of it?
I think there's a fat chance of Harry and Meghan giving up their very lucrative Netflix deal. I mean, that really was a sort of Faustian pact, I think, that they signed. And I remember, do you remember that? Was it from, it was when Prince Harry was interviewed by James Corden on that sort of light entertainment programme. And he, in that programme, he sort of defended The Crown, which is also made by Netflix. And it was kind of excruciating because you felt, why are you doing that? But you felt like he was justifying maybe to himself that, you know, it's not so bad.
Links.
But the thing is, he's got no control. He's just signed a deal with a huge streaming giant and they can do what they like. And there'll be more examples of this, I'm sure, where there'll be programmes that he wouldn't approve of or whatever. And they don't need to get his approval, I don't think, before showing them. So it puts him in an awkward position. And I think he is a bit embarrassed by that. We saw that in that Oprah interview where he just said, oh, yeah, we've did these deals because we were desperate for money, kind of thing, which would have horrified the executives at Netflix, I think, because you want to sign people who are really keen to make programmes, not doing it just because they need a quick bit of cash.
And Kate, do you think that Harry kind of understood, as Rich was saying, sort of the magnitude of this deal that he was signing with Netflix? And also, will you be tuning in?
You know, it's not something I'm desperate to see based on the trailer, to be honest with you. But I think it's fascinating, isn't it? You know, it is indeed a Faustian pact. You know, you try and, if you take the money, then you're in a bit of a bind. There was an interesting element, actually, on the Oprah Winfrey interview. And she asks them about The Crown. And Harry said, yes, I've seen some of it. And he says, what about you, to Meghan? She says, I've seen some of it, or words to that effect. And it keeps coming up. You know, I think The Crown is probably much more damaging than what we've just seen. That's also a Netflix extravaganza. And it's something that's really angered people at the palace because you're taking something that really happened, but you're twisting it. So you're saying, well, you know, Charles is painted as pretty much a villain throughout the most recent series of The Crown. And, you know, is this a company that Harry should really be getting involved with?
Well, I don't believe that they haven't watched all of The Crown. Fascinating stuff, though. Let's hear now from the Mail's royal editor, Rebecca English. Before we move on to this week's news, Rebecca, hello, there you are. I wanted to ask you about the Andrew Morton book. I mean, how much of this do you think the royals read or are aware of it?
I think with respect to brilliant biographers such as Andrew, they don't tend to read the books, but obviously they are aware of the furore that results as a result of their publication. And obviously with varying degrees. I mean, I think I've written, maybe even mentioned on this programme, I've certainly written that Harry, many times over the years, mentioned to me how he voraciously devoured everything that was written about himself, from not just the newspaper articles to online articles, the comments underneath the articles, even the kind of slightly trashy supermarket tabloid magazines. He reads everything. But on the other hand, you have people like the Queen and the Prince of Wales and actually the Duchess of Cambridge who, you know, are quite strict in not reading about anything about themselves. And they have a team of press officers who, if there's something they feel they need to know, will make them aware of it. But you have really kind of the two ends of the spectrum there. And I think probably the best way is to maybe strike a happy medium between, which I think the Duke of Cambridge and the Duchess of Cornwall have. They read a bit when they need to and then just try and park it to one side.